Little
Alex?
little vacay.
Little vacay. Little vacay. Nice little getaway.
Hmm.
Alex was just asleep, right? That's what I'm blaming that on.
Nope.
Oh, man. Nope, not sleeping. Well, you guys, this week we have a shit ton of stuff to get through. It was an excellent week of wrestling, all around. I guess we can start off. Well, let's do this. I'm gonna ask you guys, where do y'all want to start? So we could start at SummerSlam, or we can go ahead and knock AEW out this week. Your
You guys,
No,
choice.
you guys can talk about AEW. I don't watch that shit.
I I I think we got to start SummerSlam.
Okay,
I only watch
We
start
like.
we,
Summer.
we must start with SummerSlam. Night
All right.
one was okay, but night two, come on now, come on now.
SummerSlam. Let's talk SummerSlam then.
Yeah, yeah.
SummerSlam, I
Let's.
thought was a great show overall. I thought both nights could have probably been combined into one. I think,
Agreed. Agreed.
I believe over 2 nights, I think we got like 2.5 hours of wrestling apiece, I believe. So, I mean, I just feel like personally you could have turned it into a 5 hour show. But
Mhm.
I get what TKO is doing. If people are willing to pay to come for 2 nights, right? Might as well get the money grab, right? For the ticket sales. But let's go ahead and talk about night one. Night one, we ended up having Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship match. This match, this match, you guys, I was freaking glued to this match. Um, Liv Morgan and Io Sky have some crazy good chemistry.
Yeah, they do.
Um, it's the back and forth was incredible. I mean, I feel like both girls were just like hitting like their like big spots. It was like big spot after big spot. Like nobody could like seems to like get the
Upper
step
hand.
up. Yeah,
Hmm.
And then it really did take, Judgment Day to kind of help Liv like kind of push along, which keeps EO Sky like strong. But let's talk this new formulation of Judgment Day because Liv ended up getting the win there. Over EO to retain. But this new iteration of the Judgment Day, I think they're going to an all women's faction.
That could be so, but if they do that, they need to add more women in. This is not. It's not going to be a great faction with just Liv, Roxanne, and uh Raquel Rodriguez. It's
Thoughts?
just not. What do you think, Alex?
Uh, I mean, I think they're great. I think
You
Raquel.
think they need more women?
No.
Where
They,
do you think they're going? What do you think's happening? Because
oh, I
I
hope they
think
break up. I don't want to
I,
see the Judgment Day anymore. I think the faction's old and tired. I think it's time for everybody to break up, and you can start a new faction and do other stuff. I don't.
but
I,
but that's what I'm saying. What if it's like a new iteration though? So like, what if we ended up
well,
getting
we've already done
like
that. We're gonna get three iterations of the Judgment Day. One without Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. Now we're
why
gonna
not?
get. Yeah, it's like make a new faction.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that those three are going to go on a tear. I believe that now that we got Liv with a title, Miss Raquel, Big Mommy Cool, who deserved the title with her title, I think we are going to get a. Uh, why am I drawing a blank? Somebody help me here.
Keep yawning. What the fuck?
Roxanne?
Roxanne title run. Hopefully she gets the women's U.S. belt, maybe. Um,
Mm-mm.
or I mean, I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
see that. I think Roxanne's going to leave. Liv and Raquel. I think, or, well, actually, I think Raquel is going to split from Liv. I don't see that happening much longer.
Mm.
That
I don't know. I don't know. Raquel's finally coming into her own, which is
exactly,
exciting.
and she doesn't need Liv,
Yeah,
and Liv
but
keeps kind of stealing her glory.
where's
Just
Liv gonna
saying,
go?
it started with Queen of the Ring when Liv ousted her, right?
Yeah,
That started a little friction, and now Liv keeps grabbing the glory. She's the glory hound, right? I don't see Raquel staying around for that.
yeah, yeah. I like to see Raquel get this run in, and then like head for a bigger belt, and maybe she comes after Liv. Liv, maybe that's the next like iteration of this storyline, which could be exciting. Could be
Could be.
very exciting. Yeah, I mean, again, I have nothing but good things to say about EO and Liv both. I thought it was again was an excellent match, and a perfect night way to kick off night one. Um, even though I was kind of salty because I had to miss half the match, so I had to actually rewind because like I came in a little late and I was like blown away with what I was seeing, and I literally just rewinded from there. I'm like, it doesn't even matter. I have to watch it. Have to watch it from the beginning. Um, Next, we got the highly anticipated six-man match, which was LA Knight, Solo Sokoa, and Royce Keys versus the Bloodline of Jimmy J, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu. Uh,
Batu.
Fatu, baby. Alex, you didn't seem like you're too into this. I figured you would have loved this
No,
match.
I didn't.
I love this
I
match.
didn't enjoy SummerSlam at all.
I um
I only watched night
I
one. I
enjoy the
didn't
new
watch night
solo.
two.
I
Me,
love Mr.
me
Solo
too.
Dolo. Yeah. The pew pew. Pew pew pow pow. Right? Like no,
Love
I thought
that.
that was great.
No,
Hilarious.
Absolutely great.
I like
Um
Babyface Solo.
yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. He reminds me a lot of like Kishi when Kishi was with Too Cool, right? Doing the
Hmm.
dance and all that, right?
Yes. Yes, he has definitely got an iteration of that going.
Oh my god. It was
Love it.
so good. I personally really like this match. I mean, it was just a bunch of guys going all out. It was just left, right. And then I loved that they kept building the tension between like Solo and Jacob like throughout the match. But my
Yes.
favorite part of the match happened probably midway through. We get Jay versus Solo. They're in the ring, and Solo like shoulder tackles Jay. Right, he's on the ground, and like Jay's laying there, and and like Solo starts looking around at the crowd, and he was like, "Run it back," and then started yeeting. Like, oh, I thought that was
Was
fantastic.
hilarious.
Um, I thought that was great. And then, I also love that they were building to us really getting like Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu, right? Like, I
Hmm.
love that it
Hmm.
was building towards that. And then that's exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, right? Like Big E says, two big meaty men slapping meat. And I love those types of matches, and that match was exactly that, right?
You do
In
like
every
those.
way. I love those matches. They've always been my favorite. And I just think, I don't know, it was everything I was hoping it was going to be in that, right? Um, and then, of course, the singles match they're going to have is sick. Oh, by the way, before I finish this, did anybody see the picture of Solo and Royce like behind like a barricade when they were children, and then Jacob was there as well. And it was at like a WWE event back in the day when Kishi was still wrestling, and
No.
it was Jacob Fatu, Solo Sokoa, and Royce Keys, all three of them together. They had a picture. They showed it on Raw on Monday when I rewatched today, and I was like, oh wow, I thought that like so really their history really does run super deep, right? So I just love that. But then of course L.A. Knight, Mr. Solo Dolo, Solo Sokoa, and Royce Keys win. So I mean, I thought that was a
Yeah.
great match. I had no issues with anything that happened in that match. The funny stuff, the non-funny stuff. I thought that whole match from beginning to finish was fire.
It was pretty good. It was a pretty good match. I was not as impressed as you were. I loved the solo parts. Thought that was hilarious. I feel like they're holding Jacob back a lot. And I don't feel like the Usos were as smooth as they normally are during that match.
It's because Jay can't wrestle. And I've learned that over watching Jay wrestle. Jimmy
Jake
is the
Russell.
better. Jimmy's the better wrestler. He's more
I don't agree
entertaining.
with that.
I
He's the
They
it,
were
winner.
just
he
He
has
might
a
be more entertaining.
he has a better move set. I mean,
They have the
majority.
exact same move
He
set.
has more
they're
moves. He does more
they're
moves
carbon
than Jimmy.
copies of each other,
I mean,
minus
than Jay.
Jimmy's fatter. I love you, Jimmy.
Jimmy
But
does more moves
you,
than Jay. I think Jimmy's the better wrestler.
that's
I
okay.
just
I
think
used
that
to think Jay was, but Jimmy's definitely put in the work. I don't. Jay's just
No,
a bunch of
Jimmy's putting
super
in work.
kicks.
I don't think he's
Oh
on
yeah.
Jay's level though. I really don't.
I don't know. What I know is that they didn't seem as smooth as they normally are. That's all I can tell you. Like maybe Jay's hurt. I don't know.
I mean,
Well,
that could be true. They've been running him hard the past couple years. You know what I mean? But on top of that, since when was Minnesota's stadium right? Right. Since when do they do that SummerSlam outside like that? I mean, they did it here outside in Jersey, but like, I was not expecting that in Minnesota.
Well, it
Um,
was it. That's their dome, isn't it? Their dome opens.
yep.
yeah, yeah, but I was expecting them to have it closed. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they did have that open. You know that always plays a factor into the guys in ring as well.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
Yeah, but
I thought it was pretty cool
I
though.
don't know why people like Royce Keys. He's not
you
not
haven't seen
I
enough of Royce.
okay.
I agree with you, Alex. I am not a Royce Keys fan. I don't see
No,
what the hype is yet.
Y'all
he's
don't
not.
remember him in AEW?
Like with him and with LA Knight and Solo, he was overshadowed. He didn't even. It's like he didn't even really belong in that match to me. Like
Agreed.
I would have rather seen a 3-on-2 and him not be there. It'd been more entertaining for
I
me.
agree with you, Alex, because I'm
And I
not a
can't
Royce
stand tag
fan.
teams nowadays, though. I can't stand the tag team matches because no one respects the tag team rules anymore. It's always, oh yeah, let's ignore the tag team shit, and because the ref never counts it anymore. That's boring. That takes away the part of it being a tag match. You have
Yeah,
to tag. You don't just get to run in and do your little thing and double team and triple team all the time without the ref at least counting you to try to DQ you.
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah. I
That
mean, that has been my biggest complaint, honestly, with the other company recently, has been the fact that I don't know the fucking rules.
well, if it's like
Like,
I don't know the rules anymore now of tag teams. I don't ever see the ref go
Are there
one,
rules?
two. There
Are
are.
there rules?
And now
I
I
don't know.
didn't since when because it's a tag match with more than two people. Is it no DQ now?
oh yeah, I mean that doesn't make any sense to know. Yeah,
Since when? It's a tag match.
Yep. Unless that's a specific uh, uh thing that is said, which it was not. When is that? That does not. You're right, Alex. That makes no sense.
I mean,
And if
I
it's a
get like
fatal
when you make I get when you make the tag right, giving them like 5-10 seconds to like pull like a double move, right? That's always been a thing. Cool.
yeah, but they're
But
doing
it's like
17 moves.
they're in there for like 2-3 minutes at a time, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, did you make a tag? You
Yeah,
know what I
Yeah,
mean? Um,
and then the fatal
so
four ways are no DQ now.
yeah, I mean it's I don't even really know anymore the whole
What I would
count out
like to see
rules.
change is because I like LA Knight said it. He's like, if somebody does something illegal in a fatal four way, they should be eliminated from the match, which makes it a triple threat.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Because
But
a lot of wrestling now is interference.
well,
You get
yeah.
so much interference, it's
Well, we're
ridiculous.
losing the tag team side of wrestling though. Whenever it's never tags. If you can just come in here and fight for 3 minutes straight, Then what's the point of even then just make it a tornado tag?
Yeah, agreed.
Don't make
I
it where
mean, it
they
seems
don't
like
have to tag.
it seems like everything's a tornado tag nowadays.
Yeah, but I mean, we do need to get back to some. I mean, the bad guys are supposed to be the rule breakers, and you can do that for a little bit, but you got to have some kind of semblance of rules
Yeah, no, exactly.
in your
I
matches.
agree. I agree. Like they lost a lot in that. But, again, I thought it was a decent match though, overall. I thought it did a good job passing the storyline, and I personally think the right people won, even though I chose the bloodline because I just can't ever bet against the bloodline.
Oh, Bloodline's
Same
so
with the White
overdone.
Sox. Just can't seem to bet against the White Sox, right?
Well,
Right.
good thing you wasn't betting last night.
I know. I know. With a 13 freaking inning game. Woo! That was a great game, though. This team's exciting to watch. But the next was a really good match as well, in my opinion. Alex probably fucking hated it. Um, but Gunther versus Nick Aldis. So
I wish Nick would have won. I'm tired of Gunther. He's so
I wish Nick would have won too. But I think they did a really, really, really good job showcasing that Nick Aldis, like, he can wrestle, dude. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Oh,
I
that
think they
was
did
the
a good job
takeaway.
doing that. I just wish they would have really leaned into his like achievements, other than just the TNA shit.
Yeah, his Magnus personality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was okay. I didn't really care for the match at all, though. The match was
I mean, but you could tell the way that they had him wrestle was like he wasn't allowed to be fully himself. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like you could
No,
just
because he
tell.
had to cater to Gunther.
the
Yeah.
"you still got it" chance. Like, not really. Like, I could tell
Well,
you.
Alex, he pulled some moves off that everybody's like, you know what I mean? Like he
No,
can go.
I watched it.
He
I
can
didn't.
go.
There wasn't anything special that he did.
I'm gonna
I
be
mean,
quite honest. I did a lot of other things during this
What
match.
he looked like, what
that is
Nick Aldis
pitiful.
looked like, made me think of like Ric Flair probably could still do. Like it wasn't nothing like
Nick
big
Aldis
about
is
it.
39 years old.
Yeah, Ric
He's
Flair.
younger than Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk.
Right,
Just saying,
and he's not. He doesn't wrestle like it.
because he
No, he
wasn't
didn't.
allowed
I
to.
mean, I've got to say he did good considering he is not a wrestler anymore. He's a general manager. But you know me, and I'm just not in. No,
Y'all are
that
disrespecting this
match to
man.
me
Boring.
was a waste of time.
It was a throwaway match because they had nothing else lined
It
up.
was. Yeah.
Nick was it held the NWA title for like 3 to 4
This is not
years.
NWA.
I'm
First of
just
Nope,
saying.
all,
and it's not
I'm just
TNA.
saying. This guy,
it's not.
he can go.
This was SummerSlam.
He can go. And I'm
It was a
telling you,
main eventer. He was
watching
not
him
that.
And he
wrestle a
was
couple
average.
years ago, like watching him wrestle a couple years ago, just a couple years ago, right before he took this job, right? For
Right,
WWE.
because he
Right
took it
before he
because he
took this
wasn't ready
job.
for the spotlight.
No, he took it because he can get a
He
WWE
even said
contract.
it. He even said it
Um,
himself.
and I'm telling you, he can go. He wrestled the way he wrestled solely because WWE was like, "Yo, we need you to wrestle like a general manager wrestles."
I mean, don't get me wrong. He looked strong. I didn't really see any botches, but let's be honest. This match was
I think Aldis deserves
I
to
subpar.
have
I think
a
I
wrestling
think the
contract,
best
not
part
just as a
I
GM.
think the best part of the match was Michael Cole fucking up the name of the move. I think that was the best part of the match. That
Yeah,
was the best part
That was pretty good. That was
yeah,
funny.
yeah. That was funny.
because it was the only
But
time you'd
Gunther
look and be
beats.
like, "Oh, look, he's doing something." Like it wasn't interesting.
But Gunther did end up beating
So
Aldis there.
boring
And then Aldis got his GM um,
which you knew he
you
was
know,
gonna get
back
that back. That was a
rollback.
no-brainer.
Yeah, but I mean,
Just
he
the way Triple H said it was just weird,
he
right?
should be a
He
general
goes,
manager.
"You handled this the way a man handles this, the way that we handle this in the WWE, inside of that squared circle. And because of that, what is this in my hand, Nick? Tell me, what is this?" It's it's my termination. It's my
So
termination letter,
dumb.
Triple H. Not anymore. You got your job back. Like what are we talking like what kind of like serious like I mean I really felt like Steven Spielberg or somebody was gonna walk out of the back with like a camera like he was filming that or something, you know what I mean? Like it just
It
seemed
it was just a
a
dumb
little crazy.
segment. That was
A
just
little
stupid.
crazy. And
Like,
Triple H's face that whole time. What is this in my hand, Nick? Tell me, what is this?
got your
Retarded.
job back.
Not anymore, it's not. You got your job. So that was what it was.
Congratulations for being a man.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously.
That match could have been
Um,
so much more, though. Just saying, it
yeah,
could really
could have
could have.
been done
Like,
on a Friday night
imagine
or a
if
Sunday
Gunther was
night.
in
That
there,
would
like
have
just
been
like
good.
pow with those
That was not
chops.
a SummerSlam. That was not a SummerSlam
No, no, not
match.
at all. I'm just saying though. Imagine if they would have let like Gunther go in there with the crazy chops that he does, and like they would have went some crazy back forth. Like Nick pulls out the Canadian Destroyer, you know, like the whole nine. That would have been
Nick
great.
ain't got the Canadian Destroyer anymore.
Maybe,
Nah.
maybe, maybe.
He's been general manager too long. He's not got it
I mean, I
anymore.
literally watched Ivar from the Viking Raiders do one. So I'm just saying, if Ivar is 400 pounds, can do one.
Ivar has been wrestling. Nick Aldis has not.
Um, oh, the War Raiders. We'll get to them though here in a little bit. I'm just happy they're back as well. Next we got a Fatal Influence. My favorite women's fucking group are out right now. All three of them: JC Janes, Fallon Henley.
Love
They
them.
go ham. They all are fucking superstars. But it was of course all of Fatal Influence versus the Bella Twins and Paige.
Ugh.
So this match was, in my opinion, a lot of Fatal Influence picking up some slack that we were getting on the Bella Page side
And if it
of the
wasn't
squared
for
circle
Fatal
there.
Influence,
They
that
had
match,
Fatal Influence had to carry the match. That's the thing.
they
The
had
Oh my
to
Bell
god, bro.
carry
the
it.
Bellas cannot wrestle.
No.
No, they
And
can't.
Paige is a good wrestler, but she's not a tag. She's not a tag person. She's a solo wrestler,
Yeah.
Agreed.
and
I'm telling
they
you,
had to carry the. And I'm tired of just because she's Daniel Bryan's wife. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, we get it. Like like it's
I
not good.
mean,
It's not
yeah,
good.
she sucks.
They both
The Bella
suck.
twins are trash.
And I'm tired of people calling them legends.
Flat
They
out
changed the
trash.
game. They changed the game for women wrestling. No, the fuck they did not. No, they didn't.
Yeah, they're trash. I'm just not a fan.
They there
yeah.
there's nothing
I, I'm
special
t-
that the Bellas did for women wrestling that changed the game.
no, no, I don't feel like they really did much to push it forward. Now, Paige, on the other hand, yes.
She was the
Paige did a lot.
first
Paige
UK
did a lot.
women's champion at the age of
She,
Yeah.
18.
yeah, she was also the first woman actually wrestling. Like she came in when the Bellas and them were still doing diva time, right? Let's be real. And
I
then
mean,
like
but that's
Paige
two
came in.
different things.
Paige came in like, you know what I mean, like throwing bows and like actually
Hmm.
like giving girls receipts, right? She gave Natalia a
Yes.
receipt for the first time in her entire life, and like Natty goes, finally, I get to be a wrestler. Right, like, cause Natty comes from the hearts, right, like the dungeon. She got treated like one of the guys, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and like, and it's just, I'm just saying, it was like a different time. Paige, I get it, I get it. If you
But
want to
the
put
Bellas have
Paige,
never been good wrestlers.
no,
Never.
I agree 100%. But if you want to put
They're
Paige on
two pretty
like
twins. Woo woo.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I think put Paige on a pedestal. She deserves it. 110%.
Mhm.
The Bellas are pushing it. But
Yeah. No.
JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Lainey Reed are the fucking future.
I
And
love them.
I'm telling you, next time WWE is in New York or Jersey or Philly, your boy is going to be there, and he is walking out with a Fatal Influence shirt. I will be repping those girls on my shirt. I don't care. They go ham. All three of them are just insane. I love the rocker chick, the country chick, and then like the pop girl. It's like they're like the Spice Girls of fucking wrestling, and it works, right? Like it
Spice Girls.
works. It works, and all three of these
I
girls
would
can
not call
go.
them Spice Girls. They are spicy though.
I mean, they're the mean girls, right? But like
Mm,
all three of these girls can go, and they like I'm telling you, I finding it like very hard to see these legends like be able to hold even like a candle up to these young talents that we have. And one thing else I have to say on this whole topic, because Fatal Influence won, should have won, exactly what we thought was going to happen, right? If they didn't
yeah.
win, I was going to riot. Just saying. But
Hunter be in his
why?
apartment throwing things.
Throwing things, going in, hey, going crazy, like not caring. I would have had my fur coat on, going outside, yo, woo, chopping every person I saw, right? But I'm telling you, uh, why are they keep having these legend women come back trying to wrestle these up and coming talent, taking TV time away from Fatal Influence, Jordan Grace? Where has Jordan Grace been? Why is she not on my TV screen? This girl is a superstar. She's humongous. She's like a China 2.0, just shorter. Like, why are we not running with this chick? Right? Like, it's this stuff makes no sense to me.
They
Um,
have really gone stale with some of their storylines.
I'm
It's
blaming
like
the
they're
use of
phoning it
AI.
in
I
lately.
think they're using AI to help further storylines, and I think it's kind of evident. And like, so I got, and the reason this got me thinking this, you know, you guys know I read all those dirt sheets and like all that shit. And I was reading Sean Ross Sapp, who's from Fightful. He was talking about the use of AI within like WWE storylines, and even though it's not like WWE has said that they've used some AI in their storylines, they haven't like came out to say to the extent of what. But Sean was doing this whole breakdown of before they were using AI, you know, like openly, like to now, where they're
Hmm.
saying, like, we were getting consistently weekly builds, right? That was everything was building consistently. We were getting multiple use of multiple talents. Everybody was kind of being highlighted. It was being grown. Since the use of AI, he goes, you can see each show like they'll only highlight one or two rivalries that's going on at a time. So now it's dragging storylines out because they're not on TV every week. They're on TV every other week or every 3 weeks. And I'm starting to think about it, and like it does make sense, right? Because think about it, this Bella Twins Paige Fatal Influence rivalry, right? It's been going on for like a month and a half now, but we've only seen him on TV like 3 times.
Well, I mean, look at this AI crap. I mean, let's look back at some of the greatest wrestling moments in history. It had nothing to do with AI. The
Uh,
Attitude
yeah,
Error, one of the greatest errors of wrestling, in my opinion. We didn't
I
have
agree.
AI. We didn't need all that crap. They are ruining wrestling.
I agree. I just think like they're taking people off TV and then like their own like AI only prompts people that you've prompted in there before, right? So it's not that smart yet. It's a large language model that gets bigger as you go. So if you don't have all your talent in storylines, guess what AI is going to do? It's not going to add people into storylines because they're you know what I mean. Like you'd have nothing for them in the past. Um, but that's my rant on that. Happy Fatal Influence one. Next we got, in my opinion, the we had two main events on night one. First was Cody Rhodes and CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. What's y'all's opinions on this one?
Boring.
Tired of
Was
seeing.
boring.
Yeah, CM Punk fucking retire, dude. You're fucking old. It's boring.
Mm-mm. Y'all aren't gonna say nothing about Randall Keith Orton?
I'm
What?
talking about you asked about the Cody Rhodes. Yeah, the
He interfered.
RK.
He caused Cody to lose. Hit him with an RKO out of
That's
nowhere.
because he is the Viper.
Yeah, but that's because they're trying to suck him
Him
back into
come.
that stupid storyline.
No, timeout, timeout. This right here is the truest definition of long-term storytelling. Last time we saw Cody I'm sorry, last time we saw Randy Orton on
Yeah,
TV was against Cody
yeah,
Rhodes before he
right.
punted Cody Rhodes in the face. Remember that? Right? Now,
Hmm.
he's making sure this like he's coming back for vengeance because he got hurt during that match, right? Which got taken to him out for how long ever long. So now he's gonna make sure Cody has no fucking chance to have the belt, right? And
I mean,
like
I feel like
it's
Cody's going
long-term
to make a
storytelling.
heel turn,
I
and
was hoping it was gonna
I feel
happen in
like
this match,
I feel
but
like
it
Cody's
didn't.
going to make a heel turn. But here's the thing about that match: the whole match up until Randy Orton, predictable, boring.
Yeah, it was a lot of the same shit we've seen out of those two. I need Cody to turn heel because like there's a certain side of his move set that we only get out of Cody Rhodes when he's a heel. And like we've seen it in other companies, we've seen it on the indies, you know what I mean? But like he becomes more vicious, like he starts talking a lot more shit, which he can do, you know what I mean? And it's like it's I'm excited to see a heel Cody run. I was hoping it was going to happen here, but it didn't. What's your face on? What's that face about, Alex? You were being very quiet
Just no, it's
this
just
afternoon.
I mean, SummerSlam was boring. There's not much for me to say. There's a
All right.
lot.
I
Well,
feel like that
It
was
was a lot of predictable shit. I knew Randy was coming back. I already knew. It only
what
made
you just
sense.
guessed it?
Yeah, it made sense he was gonna come back.
Did it?
Yeah,
I was
because
not expecting
they needed something to spice
Randy.
up CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Nobody wanted to see that. Yeah, of course something's gonna happen during that match. It only makes logical sense. And then yeah,
My guess.
let's do the same dead
My guess was the
storyline that
code. My guess was
nobody
the Cody
wants
heel
to
turn.
see. Nobody wants to see Randy versus Cody. Nobody wants to see that. Well, what we want to see is
I
Randy
guess
have a
this is Randy
title
versus
run.
Cody.
I don't want to see Randy versus Cody.
I would
I
love to
could
see
care less.
Rand.
That
I
shit
would love to
happened in
see.
2013. I don't want to see it again.
I would love to see Randy fucking destroy Cody, even though I love Cody, and just freaking make him mentally just boom, and then we get the heel turn.
I think we're gonna look at a Cody heel turn, but I also love me some Randy Orton.
Are we now?
I love Randy Orton in all forms of Randy Orton. I
Yeah,
love
but
him
I
when
want to
he's
see him
heel.
with a
I love him
title.
when he's face. I love all Randy Orton.
Now, if we get a heel Cody, do we think we're going? He's going to dye his hair black again,
No.
or we're going to keep a blonde haired like villain?
I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see him
Because
if he
like
does.
remember the whole reason he dyed his hair blonde anyway was the tip of his hat to his dad.
Right. But when Dusty was heel or when he was face, he would always have blonde hair. So
Yeah, maybe he'll keep it. But then we had the big main event, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell. Big meaty
uh,
men slapping meat, baby. And I thought it was a good match, and I love the way that they built it up, where like Oba survived Brock almost, right? Like that's like I feel
mhm.
like that's the way the match concluded. Like Oba picked up the win, right? But I just felt like it was like a lot of it was, Oba trying to survive Brock in that
Mm,
cage. And then like when he finally got a hold of Brock, like you know what I'm saying, like he beat Brock down, proving that like yo, like I'm the new sheriff in town.
I
And then
feel like that was Brock making Oba prove that he could be the new big man. I feel like Oba proved it. I'm not still not 100 on Oba, not 100 on him, but he did show me a few things in that match.
Darula. I thought this was a good match, but again, big meaty men slapping meat is my thing. So,
What'd you
uh,
think, Alex? What'd
you
you think
know,
about it?
Average. It's an average match. There's nothing super exciting that happened during that match. That
I loved the passing of the torch. I
I
really
hell
did.
mean,
yeah,
I
I do too.
it was okay. Like I mean, I think Oba needs a lot of work, but
No, I agreed. Agreed. But I do think that that was a really nice ending. Um, when Brock stood up there and said, "He's the future, I'm the past."
yeah, but he only said that. Like people are acting like he said that out of kindness. Oh, look at Brock, man. That's sportsmanship. No, that's his way of telling WWE, stop calling me. That's the only thing he's saying. It's not. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
but
I
he
love
all
Oba.
he
That's not it.
he
It's not the
also has
case.
made the statement though that like he really does believe like Oba is like the next big man.
I
And
watched him in an interview with Pat McAfee.
he really wholeheartedly believes that, and that's why he chose to
Hmm.
work with Oba. Like it was his choice to work with Oba. It wasn't WWE's call. Like that was Brock's call. Brock wanted to put Oba over specifically,
So they'd
and
stop calling him.
and then that's the
Exactly.
whole reason like the hug at the end happened. Like he
Hmm.
legitly like wanted to put Oba over, and he's been working with Oba. That's why we've been seeing Oba get better. Think about it. Like Oba's moving better in the ring. His moves are looking smoother. You know what I mean? Like it's like you could tell that Brock's been putting in the work with Oba, and I think Oba's officially arrived personally. And I think yes, he does have work to do, but the ruler is here, and the ruler is here to stay. And if you have an issue with Oba, I think you need to watch a little bit of Unreal, and it's going to change your complete thought on Oba
I
Femi.
watched that, and I
Um,
did
Nope,
see
I refuse to
that.
watch Unreal. Just like Paul Heyman said, I don't think there should be cameras backstage giving away secrets and things like that. I don't watch
the
that.
Oba
I
part
did
though
I
watch
don't
is
like
some of
just
that.
it.
about his
I enjoyed
past,
it.
and I think what he's overcame, and like with the weight loss and like the whole nine coming over here.
Listen, I didn't know
I
he
tip
was
my
a
hat.
shot putter, or I didn't
Yeah,
realize that, and that was an interesting thing to me
yeah.
because Brock Lesnar's daughter does something
Mm-hmm.
similar to that,
Yeah,
right?
she's also
Hmm.
a shot putter. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
And
that was
he was
interesting.
good. He was real good, and like that's the only way he came over here to the states. So like he's
Who
the first man
cares?
from his family to get any type of education. You know what I mean? Like so, like I tip my hat to the ruler, for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into night two so we can power through this.
Oh, I didn't even watch night two. I was night no
Oh,
What?
night two
You
was so
missed the
much better
best
than night
night.
nope.
one.
Night
Oh
one was
my god.
garbage, so night two didn't deserve to be watched.
All right, so let's rate night one real quick. Personally, just because a couple of the big meaty men
I'll
slapping
give it a two
matches, right?
stars.
I'm giving it a 3.75 out of 5.
No, actually, I'll give it a one. So I'll give it.
I'll go with a three.
It was very trash.
It was very mid card to me.
I like the big meaty man matches. I don't know. There's something about those matches that just like I can't get enough of those.
They got 1 star just because Randy Orton was in it.
I
Yeah,
love that. Love that.
that's where
Um,
my one
night
star comes
two,
from.
night two was full of surprises, Alex. So you missed out.
No,
Um,
Hmm.
because we
I didn't.
get kicking off was the Fatal 4-Way number one contenders match, where it was Finn Balor and Sami Zayn, right? And
Yeah.
Gunther,
Yes.
because Aldis get added Gunther, and a surprise. And whose music do we hit?
Kevin
Whose music do we
Owens.
hear other than the boom? Kevin Owens fucking comes walking out after a year and a half out of the ring. We didn't think he was ever going to be able to wrestle again,
I
and
wish
Kevin
he couldn't.
Owens is back 17 months after his last match. He's finally freaking back, and it wasn't just a cameo. It wasn't just to be like, what's up. He came out and won the damn match. Like, what is going
He
on?
did.
Boom, Put KO right back in the title contender. The prize fighter is back, and I hope he's back to fight forever. Um, that's
The
my
hunt
opinions
between
on
him
that.
and Sammy at first confused me, and then they started fighting. I'm like, okay, because I'm not a Sami Zayn fan.
Yeah. Well, that's just a tip of their hat because they've been friends for so long and they were a tag team for a long
Hmm.
time. But I love the fact that KO comes out, defeats Gunther, um, Balor, and Zayn to kind of show like, yo, dude, I am fucking back. And by the way, the stunner after another stunner and then another stunner. Like he it reminded me of Stone Cold in that bitch. Just
He was
stun.
on.
Like it was great. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Alex, you don't really have an opinion. Your face looks kind of funny though. Uh,
Yeah, because I don't get why people are so hyped about Kevin Owens. He's the reason why a lot of wrestlers got hurt. So I don't know what he's
I
so
love
hyped
Kevin
about.
Owens.
I love KO too, and I would disagree with you, and I think most of the locker room would probably
When he
disagree
got
with you
hurt,
as
I was
well.
hoping he never stepped back in a WWE ring. That was my.
Wow, you really don't like
I
him.
don't like
That's
him.
fucked up.
I don't care.
Do you feel the same way about Big E?
Yeah, I'm not a Big E fan. He's not that talented. He's a great
Wow.
I hate to say this, but I agree with Alex on that.
he's a great like oh hi you can make me laugh kind of guy. Cool.
I
Like but
like Big E.
you're
I
not
like
you're
Big
not
E.
super talented.
The New
I,
Day to me was not.
I didn't I
I
didn't
like.
I didn't miss Kevin Owens because he's very replaceable.
Wow.
All right.
Wow, for a guy who didn't even watch it.
No,
Damn.
I
All
mean
right.
I saw the highlights of
Next,
that match. I mean
next
so
we
that's
have
not hard to
Baron
see.
Corbin versus Trick Willie. And Trick Willie,
Yeah.
of course, was accompanied by Lil Yachty, like he has been. And by the way, I kind of love how Lil Yachty plays like that, like Jimmy Hart type of like when Jimmy Hart was like a heel manager. You know what I'm saying? Like just like that, like snavely little like high pitch talking. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, um, but
I cannot stand that whole thing. I mean, I love Jimmy Hart. I just don't care for Little Yachty. I think and Trick Williams, please get
well,
out of here.
I thought this was a fun match, especially for a return for Corbin. I thought this was a good return match for Corbin. I thought it was a lot of fun. Corbin showed his improvement over his time. He looks great, by the way. Um, and I love how like he was able to capitalize along the confusion, right? Because his whole thing was patience, and then that trick got shoved into the spotlight too early, and then he's here to kind of knock him back a couple of things and teach him a couple lessons. And then like with Lil Yachty getting involved, and then like Corbin able to sidestep, so like Trick puts Yachty through the table. And then
Mhm.
and then he's able to take advantage, hit him with the end of days, and pick up the U.S. championship and take the belt off of Trick. I thought that was awesome because I feel like it kind of knocks Trick back, kind of gives him a new storyline to kind of push forward for. Hopefully, he can get better. And I'm happy to see Corbin back. Who knew that
Mm.
I would have ever said this? But I miss seeing Baron Corbin on my TV screen. For a long time, I got
Here's
sick of him because I felt like he was the mid card vortex. Everybody who wrestled him, he would just suck him into this vortex. It was just an ever going, like, never ending stories. You know what I mean?
mm-mm.
But now, like, I feel like this new character, it's like a different Corbin. And, like, I'm just happy to see him back, personally.
See, I personally am like Alex is with KO. For me, that's Baron Corbin. Who cares?
Damn. Damn. I can't. I guess when we talk SmackDown, I guess y'all ain't gonna have nothing good to say. I thought that entrance was sick, uh, but we'll get there. I guess y'all are shitting all over my shit right now. Next, we ended up having the women's interim championship ladder match. This match, second best match of the night.
Great match. It was
Second best match of
excellent
the night.
match.
It was crazy. It was Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, and Lash Legend, all fighting it out in a ladders match.
Yep.
And it was just crazy. I highlighted where Tiffany took that crazy power bomb from Lash Legend onto the ladder. That looked
Yeah.
insane. And then when Jade hit like Chelsea with Jaded onto another ladder,
Mhm.
I was like, there's no way that they're about to let Jade win this, right? Um, and then like Chelsea does what she does absolutely better than any other wrestler around right now, and like play possum, right? And she ended up doing this sit up while hanging upside down from the ladder. Did this sit up and went up there and stole it. Literally, just stole the championship. And now
Is
Chelsea
everybody froze
Green.
or is it just me?
No, you froze for a second, but you're back now. You're just screen's looking a little funny. So I guess you were moving. But Chelsea, oh, we lost her.
Can you
And
hear
she's
me?
back. Yep, we can hear you now. You're all back now. But like I said, Chelsea Green does what she does best. She did that sit up and she absolutely stole this. I am so hyped for this. Chelsea Green's one of my favorite girls in women in the locker room. And I love the post show where she shouted out for the real ones who know. She goes, and this one is dedicated to Michael P.S.
Michael, hey.
Hayes. So
Yes.
if you didn't know, Michael Hayes pretty much shit all over Chelsea Green, and
He
said
did.
that all she's ever going to be is an enhancement talent to put the
Yep.
real good girls over. Even though she can wrestle, but that's not her job.
Right.
Um, so I love you, Michael Hayes. You are the last free bird around, and I love that about you. But you were absolutely wrong on Chelsea Green in every facet. She's the fucking superstar. Y'all give this girl chicken shit, and she turns it into fucking chicken parm, right? Like it's
Mhm.
she takes everything and like makes it great. Y'all bring out the women's US championship for the first time ever, and nobody gave a shit about that title till you put it on Chelsea Green. And then look what she did with the Secret Harvest. She gave other girls that you weren't using in the roster at the time who can go all TV time, and it made them
Mhm.
exciting, fun to watch, be on TV every week, right? She with the legacy title that she did with the hats and the whole nine. Everything this girl you give this girl, she fucking runs with, and she deserves this championship. Interim champion or not, she deserves this belt, and I think she deserves to hold this belt till Rhea gets back, and then we get a Rhea Chelsea match, which I think it would be fantastic. But then of course, Rhea's going to win that. We all know. But I think Chelsea deserves an actual run with this interim belt till Rhea comes back.
I love Chelsea Green. I love Chelsea Green. First of all, she's hilarious.
Yes.
We don't have women that are as funny as some of the men, but Chelsea is one.
And she's funnier most of the time. I mean, I hate
I
to break
mean,
it to you, like
she
she's
is
great.
hilarious. The thing where she leans out and goes
Yeah, the
cracks me up
shushes the
every
crowd.
time. I'm like, she looks like a cobra when she does that, cracks me up. But also, she does have talent. She
Yes,
can go. There are
she
some
can
of the
go.
women in the women's roster that I'm like, why are they even on this? Like the Bellas, when you have Chelsea Green.
And Chelsea can go. Like she can wrestle guys, she can wrestle girls. Like if y'all have 10 minutes, right, 15 minutes. I think it was a 20-minute match total, but just watch at least 15 minutes of this match, right, on YouTube. Lucha Underground, Chelsea Green versus Penta, Zero Mero, right? That's the match that put Chelsea Green on the map for me. This was years ago, right? But this is what put Chelsea on the map for me. She can fucking go, dude. Like they were doing Canadian destroyers on each other. Like you know what I mean? Like it was unbelievable. It was funny because when Penta first came back to WWE, there was an interaction that Chelsea was talking about in the Chris Van Vliet show that happened between them. So when like Penta first comes back, she comes up to congratulate Penta like for finally making it to WWE, that she's proud of him, because they've known each other forever. And then Penta's exact words were like, "Now that we're here, can we should we run it back?" And Chelsea's like, "No, I think I'm okay." But I just like thought that was hilarious, right? That Penta
No.
wants to run it back with her,
And
but
it
Chelsea
cracks me
Green
up
won.
because they fired her a couple of times and, she referenced it.
That's because they probably listened to Michael Hayes. Right? But I thought that was fantastic. So congratulations, Chelsea. the wrestling with the family fam here hopes that you get a long title reign, or at least till Rhea gets back. Because I hate to say, like, Rhea is Rhea, but I think you deserve I think you deserve that reign till she gets there, so we get you guys actually going at it for to unify the belts.
I'd
I
love to see
think
a
that would be
Chelsea
great.
Liv Morgan
Ooh,
match. That would be a good
what
match.
what if what if we, Chelsea gets this run, right? And like she's holding the belt. Rhea comes back, they do the unified thing, right? Rhea barely sneaks out Chelsea, right? Like I'm not saying like it. I don't think this would lower Rhea's stock in any means because Chelsea's good, right? Like she barely sneaks out Chelsea, and then like um, Adam Pierce is so impressed by Chelsea Green's, her fight against Rhea, that he gives her a championship match against Liv for for the women's championship that Liv's holding, and then boom,
I would be there for a Chelsea Green
that
Liv Morgan
that
match.
would be great.
Absolutely.
That would be great. And then either one to win would be fantastic. Yeah, I wouldn't care either way, but I think like giving giving Chelsea her flowers is a must.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you think of that,
Agreed.
Alex?
Oh, I like Chelsea.
Cool.
I mean, I don't have an opinion on what you guys are talking about. I could care less about like the matchups. I'd like to see her have a good title run. Though I would like to see that.
Yeah, she deserves it for sure.
I think so too.
Next we had Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio in the Human Money's on a Poles match. This is classic wrestling, in my opinion. Just stupid ass, goofy wrestling. And for
Um,
everybody who is shitting on this segment, uh, and they're saying this is the worst segment in WWE history, y'all remember May gave birth to a hand.
Still better than Danhausen.
What? 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 That is insane to me.
an
Um,
opinion.
that is
Still
that
better
is
than Danhausen
that
is.
is insane to me.
Danhausen
Alrighty
is
then.
the most unfunny person I've ever
Danhausen.
seen be in the comedic seat that I've ever seen. He's in the comedic seat
I love
constantly. He's
Danhausen.
not funny.
Cursed. I love Danhausen.
I I like Danhausen. The match itself was kind of dumb. I have to say. Um, but I do like Danhausen. I think he can be quite funny. I like a I like his behind the scenes stuff way more than his wrestling, though. I will have to say.
Yeah, he did an episode of Hot Ones. That was funny.
Yeah,
With our Truth and the Miz and all them, that was funny.
it was funny.
But that's because
Yeah,
he wasn't putting on that stupid little WWE shit. That it's just not. He's not
I don't know. I
funny.
thought I thought the Human Money's on the Poles match was everything it should have been. Goofy, stupid. The mini Housens getting involved. Oh, by the way, did y'all know that one of the mini Housens was that the comedian what's his name? Bradley
Brian. Yeah,
what the fuck's his name,
yeah,
Alex?
yeah. I know it's Bradley.
Bradley Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he's like a midget comedian, right?
and
He just
he begged to be
he
on
just
that
wanted to be a
too.
mini. He didn't want any credit. They didn't want to say that he, what I'm saying. He just wanted to be a mini housing.
I did
Um,
see something about a small person wanting to be a mini housing, but I don't know if it
yeah,
was him.
yeah, that was Bradley Williams. It was hilarious. So he was ended up being one of the mini housings. They got involved. JD to take out JD. Joe Hendry gets involved. Of course, Dom still doesn't really interfere with Dom too much. He's about to grab it. Fire goes off for one more. And then boom, Danhausen
You
grabs the monies and
are
wins.
first.
I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a little bit of it broke up a little bit of the the actual wrestling, which I feel like was needed before this next match. Um,
Oh no, I see. It struggles with
I still
Dan.
th-
It was a good bathroom break.
I struggle with Danhausen because he has to live up like Santino Morella like really took the cake for me.
Yeah. I like Danhausen though, but I'm gonna be quite honest.
But
Joe Hendry,
the difference was
give me a break.
was though Santino Marella can actually wrestle. That's the difference.
Yeah, I don't need Danhausen to wrestle. That's not what I'm here for.
No,
You know what I mean?
I want you to be funny in and outside the ring.
I mean, if you're gonna
If
be in
you're
a
gonna get
wrestling
in the
ring, you
ring,
do need to
you should be
wrestle.
able to wrestle.
My
No.
biggest complaint was that they had the company's biggest heel in a comedy match.
Agreed. That made no
That should have
sense. It
that should
does not.
it should have been JD, not Dom.
I mean, I feel like it's more for Joe Hendry than it was for anyone.
God,
Yeah,
Joe
I feel like
Hendry.
And
I feel
I don't like Joe Hendry.
yeah,
I think his whole gimmick is dumb.
yeah, I feel like JD
It
should have been the
reminds
one
me of
in the match.
Elias.
Yeah, I personally thought it should have been JD, not Dom. But
Yeah,
next, we had a fucking stellar match in Penta versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. Um,
it was a good
I
match.
mean, like Penta looked great, like always.
He did. Hmm.
Um, Chad was looking like freaking vintage Kurt Angle, which was insane to me, right? Like just the
Yeah,
moves, like
he
the
he did seem to
transitions
reference that a bit, didn't he?
a lot, right? Like he's really like tapping
Hmm.
into like his gold, his like Olympic, like his whole
Yeah.
gold medal stuff,
Hmm.
and like he's like it was like the transitions were smooth. It reminded me of watching Eddie Guerrero versus like Chris Benoit back in the day when they would do that mat wrestling and like it was like the transitions were just like flawless, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just a beautiful match. It was like I thought it was art. It was just art that I was watching on TV. It was more than just a wrestling match. It told a whole story of like,
It did.
the Gable
Total redemption story, honestly.
yeah, everything
It was a
Gable
redemption
overcame.
story.
And then there were
Hmm.
moments in that match where like Gable could have easily went back heel again, like and ripped like if like Penta was losing his mask at one point, and Gable could have tried to like continue, but he like stopped to give, you know what I'm saying, and like showing his hat like
Hmm.
that he's learned and
Hmm.
he's kind of moved up, and he ended up winning clean, clean, one clean. Um, in my opinion, Gable's had one of the biggest years in wrestling. Everything he's kind of done with El Grande Americano and the Redemption Tour and like the whole nine. It's had happened, and then I love that they brought all of his family in, and his kid had matching singlets. Come on, dude,
Hmm.
that was cute. That
That was
was cute.
adorable. That was pretty
And
cute.
yeah, you got to celebrate with his family, which it was awesome. So I'm glad Gable won there.
That
That's
was nice
exciting.
because his family also watched him lose.
Yeah, a lot,
So
a
that
lot.
was at the match where he lost, he had to be unmasked.
Yeah.
His family was there,
Mm-hmm.
so then they see his redemption. So yeah.
Yeah. And then so I love that, and then it also frees Penta up. To go for another championship, a different championship, because in my opinion, the rise that we've seen Penta on this year, he's outgrown the IC championship mid card
Agreed.
See,
level.
I disagree completely because name for me, just to do this for me. Name three memorable rivalries he had with the Intercontinental Championship. Please tell me.
El
Three of
Grande
them.
America, El Grande
That's not
Americano.
memorable.
What do you mean that was fucking insane?
That's Chad Gable territory. That's memorable. That's not. You're not looking back and be like, man, this was an intercontinental rivalry that you'll never forget. Name
I thought that
three
was
of them.
great. The Rusev shit
Rusev,
was
I'll give you
fucking
that. That's
fantastic,
one.
right?
Yeah, I
Hell,
thought that
even
was
the
good.
shit he was doing with All Ego Ethan Page was fantastic.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that's been great. Like I
I
personally
don't.
think
I feel
I
like they
like
didn't
Penta.
throw enough talent at him for him to have a memorable enough Intercontinental Championship. Dolph, like, let's
But
just throw this
every
out
person you
for
threw at
example.
him, though, he had a bang up match with every fucking person.
Like
I
you could.
mean, Dominic Mysterio, him and Dominic's rivalry
There
was,
you
I
go.
thought,
That was
very
another
well.
great one. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
another
like
fantastic
it's
one.
not it's not like this championship has been crazy. You know what makes a championship too? When you lose it
What?
and then you earn it back. And then you lose it and then you earn it back. That's what
But
makes
it's
it
the IC
memorable.
Which
though.
is, I
Like
think, where
people
we're
don't do
going
that
right
with
They
now.
people
do
don't do
that. They've
that with
done
the
that all the
IC.
time with the IC. It's
If you're
the
stuck in the mid card,
it's the
if you're
it,
stuck in the mid
the
card,
IC is one of the most memorable belts to ever hold.
Alex,
I
it's a
mean, a
Every
big.
lot of people
superstar's
have
It's
done
owned
it.
a
it, held
it
it.
is a stepping stone title. Everybody looks at it like that.
Yeah, but
You hold
everybody's
it. You
held
hold
it.
it for
It is.
so long, and then you move up. You don't bounce back till later in your career. You know what I'm
A
saying? You
lot of
win it,
people
move
do
up.
that.
This isn't Sheamus. You know what I mean? You don't skip the IC title completely and go right to the championship, and then that be the only belt you never win. And then you get shoved out of WWE without ever winning that belt. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys they win it and they move up, and I think Penta's on that same trajectory. Like, I mean, I think Penta is the best luchador that they have on the roster right now because Ray's breaking
At the
down.
moment.
You know what I mean? And like if they need a luchador like that in the main event title because they don't have Ray anymore. And then that's all they've done. Hell, even the Penta Ray shit. Let's talk about that one. That was a great match series of matches
Well, I'm
Hell
going
too.
to
yeah.
tell you, Rey Mysterio hadn't had it for a minute.
No, but I'm
That
just saying now that we have somebody, like I get why they're moving him out of the mid card. You know what I'm saying? Moving him to upper mid card. You know, I get it. I get it. And then also I would like to see a person like All Ego Ethan Page get a
Fuck
run
no.
at
Why
the
people
IC
like
title.
him
you
so
and
much?
your Ethan
Um,
Page, you love him. I can't stand
I
him.
fucking love Ethan Page. Ethan Page,
Oh, and
he's the
it's not
shit.
even his character. I just don't think he's great.
Yeah, he's not
I
that
love
good in the
Ethan Page.
ring.
Ethan Page is fantastic. Y'all are
Mm-mm,
crazy.
mm-mm.
No, I just
No, no,
that's the problem with titles nowadays. Though everybody holds them, and nobody ever loses them and earns them back. Everybody just holds them. These fucking title runs
that's
aren't
true.
memorable. They're not memorable. They're the same shit. Every title, it's the same shit. Roman gets the title. He fucking wrestles one every fucking 7 events.
He's wrestling more now.
Yeah, but it's
I
the
love
All
same
Roman.
right.
shit.
I love Roman. Love Roman.
It's the same. They're gonna hold on to the belt for fucking months at a time. It's the same shit. They don't lose it.
So we're gonna jump into Roman Reigns next, baby.
Fucking can't stand
So
Roman.
we ended up having Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, which in again my opinion was the best fucking match of SummerSlam. Easily, hands down, best match of SummerSlam. This match told a story that's been being told for the last fucking 10 years, right? It was just so much back forth, back forth. Both men kicking out of giant moves after giant move. The crowds were fucking going crazy. They fought through the crowds. You know, we got spears, kicks, buckle bombs, stomps, right? Everything. All these shield callbacks.
So
It was
good.
just like everything was just a full circle moment with these two. And it was like finally this like whole crazy rivalry that we've had between them is finally culminating in this one event and match. And then Roman hits 3 spears in a row. And then literally it was 1, 2, 3. Roman finally overcame his demon and retains his world heavyweight championship. And then like after the match, you know, Roman and Seth stood together, right? And then I love that they left the gap where Moxley would have been, right? And then they
Mm-hmm.
did
Mm-hmm.
the shield fist, and they left that gap to
Yes.
where Moxley would have been, which was like a
That
great
to me
tip
was
of the
a
hat.
WrestleMania main event match.
Oh, hands down. It was great, and I love that the Shield got like one last moment together, and then like you know like all the fans were like
Mm-hmm.
calling it out, like that they left that gap for Moxley, so it was like he was actually there. Which I read. Don't hold me to this. I don't know how true this is, but they
The
said that
mask
he.
was Moxley.
They said Max. They
That's
said
why
they said Mox was in attendance.
I don't think he was.
They said
I
Mox was
don't
in
I don't
attendance.
think he was in attendance, but Seth came out wearing that mask, which was a Dean Ambrose, John Moxley thing,
Yeah, I
and
really I think he might have been there, Mom. I really think he might have been there
I don't
because
think he was there.
they do that shit with each other randomly, and they like to show up for each other. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
When
I don't think
because
he was there.
I mean, well, remember when Moxley first won his first championship in AEW, Seth was in attendance and he got fined all that money because his pictures came out that he was there. You know what I mean? But like he was there to support his boy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But overall, I thought SummerSlam was a great show. Between Obafemi defeating Brock, KO, coming back, the Gable stuff, Chelsea Green, Roman Reigns, right? Fatal Influence. Overall, I thought it was a super solid show. Night two way better than night one, of course.
way better.
Um, but it kind of has you wondering, is Punk who's Owens is coming for next, right? Um, is it Roman? Who's he coming for? Which I think we're gonna get some answers this week, which we'll talk in a minute. My best match of the weekend was Roman versus Seth. Second was the Chelsea win. I want to put Fatal Influence up there just because those girls are so good. But the
Yeah, but
Bellas and Paige
mm,
really botched a lot, and then you really had Fatal Influence. They did too, like, nothing against them because they're fantastic, but they had to do too much to keep that match on track. And it was
agreed.
obvious. It was pretty obvious. Overall, though, I rated a 4.25 out of 5 stars. If I'm putting both nights into one rating, I'm not rating each night. It would have had a 4.5 star rating if night one would have been better, in my opinion. Um, I think it delivered some big moments. We got some new champions. We got some great returns. Got some good people being put over. And I feel like some people got their flowers. But I feel like
Hmm.
there was something lacking there that would have taken it to like a runaway show for me.
I'm going to give him a 4.2 out of 5 for the two combined. Because that last match just brought it up a whole new level.
No, for sure. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Boys, I'm going to have to roll out. I got to get dad.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. So, Alex, um, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into WWE this week. Did you have a chance to watch anything?
Nope.
All right. So on Monday Night Raw, ended up kicking off with Roman coming out. LA Knight interrupts. Of course, calling Roman a fraud. He does my favorite promo thing of the night where he's like, whiskey, echo, making fun of the whole shield shit. And they had some pretty good back and forth. Pretty much Roman said, he told Roman that Roman's was everything that he was, everything he wanted to be. Roman kind of put LA in his place here, but then LA kind of immediately, fired back, establishing himself as someone who's not going to back down from Roman, and that he wants that championship. Okay, start. But then next we got Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. This was a rivalry that was continuing from NXT. I thought this was a good match. Javon ended up capitalizing with OG Cutter to pick up the win over Ethan Page. And then Big Cass returned, and then took out Javon Evans. That was the best part of the match to me. Big Cass looks like a fucking problem. Did you see what Big Cass looks like?
Nope.
Bro, he looked crazy, crazy good. Um, he's gonna be something crazy. And then right next after that, of course, we had a backstage segment where Roman Reigns was scolding the Bloodline for losing, and he made it clear that this shit's unacceptable. Right after that, of course, we end up having Judgment Day celebrating. They came out to celebrate all their victories at SummerSlam. Uh, and since she supposedly doesn't have any challengers left, she's going to become the longest reigning women's championship of all time. But then Becky Lynch comes out and kind of made a statement like, "Yo, I'm here, so you better watch out, Liv, because I'm coming for you." What did you feel of that? How do you feel about that? Becky coming back and immediately inserting herself into a title picture.
I guess you can just do that nowadays. You don't have to earn it.
I mean, do you want to see Becky versus Liv,
I mean,
or would you
yeah,
rather see Liv go on to wrestle somebody else?
no, I mean, you're gonna have to make Liv wrestle somebody. It's
And
funny.
like honestly, that
I
statement is
because
true.
it's funny because once again, when I go back to she had the women's intercontinental championship, and she would lose it and win it back, and lose it and win it back, and it made her fun to watch because you got to see crazy Becky, and
Yeah, I mean,
now
I
you're
feel like
getting to see face Becky.
Liv did make a really good statement though, and it's kind of true if you're really thinking about it, right? She came out and said that she literally came out and said that since there are no more challengers for her to face, because she's pretty much beaten everybody, that's going to make her become the longest reigning women's champion of all time, right? She has kind of beat everybody.
Yeah,
So,
but because for some reason in the WWE right now they don't believe in champions losing their title and earning them back. I don't know why.
yeah, I just feel like Liv's actually really has beat everybody. But then, of course, right after that, Roxanne stays in the ring because she's facing Sol Ruka. Sol actually looked decent early in the match, but it ended up with a disqualification when Liv tried to interfere
Of course.
and was caught by the referee. Then Judgment Day attacked Sol afterwards. Becky then returned trying to help out Sol, um, and was able to kind of stop it and then jumps
No,
back on the mic.
now they're gonna team up with each other. Oh wow, never seen
Yeah,
that
kind of.
coming.
They were jumped back on the mic and they were going back and forth, and then Stephanie Vakir shows up and then absolutely destroyed all of Judgment Day before going face to face with Becky.
I'm not a huge Stephanie Van Kier fan.
Me neither. Me
Uh,
neither.
I do like the other two that were mentioned.
But Stephanie versus Becky could be a fun match. Um, then we get Oba. Oba comes
Stephanie
out.
Stephanie versus you said Becky. Never mind. I was about to say she already
Uh,
fought Liv.
Stephanie versus Becky could be a fun match. And then next, of course, we get Oba. Oba comes out, sends a message where he's talk about the passing of the torch, and kind of thanking, told Paul Heyman to thank Brock for him. Comes out, pretty much cuts a nice little promo as he's walking back. Braun Breaker comes out. They have this nice little stare down, which could be a lot of fun. Of Braun Breaker versus Oba.
Not if he's replacing Brock Lesnar. It won't be. It'll just be a squash match.
Yeah. And then next we get Braun Breaker versus Joe Hendry.
Oh God, Joe Hendry.
I was surprised that Hendry got any momentum going during this match at all. But then Austin Theory was out there, you know, uh, and sent Hendry through the table. But Hendry, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that's a lie. So it was Hendry was trying to put Theory through the table, but then he was taken out by a spear with Braun, and then Braun threw him back in and picked up the victory. And then the Vision continued to beat up Hendry afterwards, and Tozawa came in to make the save. Yeah, and then we get Big Cass backstage. And he just made it clear that, yo, Javon, this says nothing personal, bro. But you just happen to be in the way. So, pretty much saying he's coming for some championships.
Wait, who said that?
Big Cass.
Hmm.
Where's Enzo? I thought we were
I
getting
don't.
Big Cass and Enzo together.
I'm cool with Big Cass. Do not bring Enzo back.
You don't like the certified
No,
G, the bona
don't
fide
bring it
stud?
back. No, there's nothing good about him. No, he blew his shot. He doesn't deserve another one. Cass didn't blow his shot.
Yeah, he did. Cass was on drugs, dog.
Yeah, so is Jeff Hardy.
I'm just saying. That's blowing your shit, bro. Um, so I'm happy to see Big Cass back. I would like to see Enzo back. That's me personally. Then we had Chad Gable and Penta versus Judgment Day. This was a really good match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of back and forth. But Gable and Penta were able to pull out the win. Then next we had Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman backstage. Braun wanted to know where Oba Femi was. Heyman claimed that he didn't know. And then Braun pointed out that he thought Heyman knew because Oba is apparently his new friend. And then kind of walked off. So that kind of throws a new wrinkle in there because Heyman recently left the Vision. And then in the main event, we had Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys in a street fight. I thought this was a great street fight. Two big men slapping fucking meat, going back and forth, back and forth. And then of course, finally Fatu gets the tongue and death grip in place, and Keys passed out. And then afterwards, Fatu wasn't finished. He continued to choke Keys out before hitting him with two hip splashes into the corner with steel chairs around Keys' face. And Roman watched and gave Fatu his approval.
Oh, that
And then
approval.
after
That approval shit is. I don't. I can't stand that. Like he's like a child.
he's
Like
trying to get like Jacob to be more brutal, it feels like.
yeah, but
Um,
that fucking like. Oh, I approve of what you're doing. Come on.
but I thought this was a super great episode of Raw. I gave it a 4 star out of 5. Kind of exactly what you were looking for coming out of SummerSlam.
Yeah, I missed it. I'm pretty sure I was doing something.
And then on NXT this week, it opened with Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, and Cruz Montana, formerly known as Santana from TNA. This was a fucking. Um, this was just a good promo. Grayson kind of came back and cut that pipe bomb promo last week. And Tony D was just kind of like, yo, neither of y'all kind of deserve a championship. Neither of y'all are proving it. So that led to a number one contenders match between Grayson Waller and Cruz for next week. So that's going to be a great fucking match. Then we had Miss Parker, Jada Parker, and Thea Hale versus the Dungeon with his Natty's team. Um, and this was pretty good, right? I don't really have too much to say about this, right? Because Jada and Thea kind of picked up the win. I'm not too impressed with the Dungeon yet, so we'll have to see where they're going. Next, we get Ren Sinclair versus Zarya. Again, decent match, but Ren ends up retaining the championship. She was really worried about having to defend her title all night, which was weird. So I don't know, what kind of character they're going with her. Um, what else really happened?
Why are they blasting fucking music outside? Like I'm not okay, bro.
Miles Bourne, the Deaf Wrestler, and Tavion Heights win tag team championships. Kiana Carver picked up a win against EK Prosper. Lizzie Dame and Sean Spears had some more stuff backstage.
I don't know why.
Shiloh
I'm
Hill
not a fan
had
of
some stuff.
Sean Spears.
I like Sean Spears. And then the main event was Kendall Gray versus Lola Vice in an NXT Underground match, which was interesting that WWE's bringing back the Underground stuff. Overall, decent show of NXT. NXT's doing what they always do and letting the women shine. Women have kind of carried that show. But let's go ahead and jump into Friday Night SmackDown. SmackDown opened up with Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Kevin Owens fallout. KO confronted Punk, which was awesome. He cut some really great promos, pretty much calling Punk a bitch, and then he never wants to become Punk. So now it's going to be Punk versus Owens for the title next week, I believe.
Oh God.
And then, of course, we get Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin for another U.S. Championship match. Baron comes out with brand new music on a motorcycle, looking like a badass, and ends up stealing another victory from Trick. So Trick can't seem to pull out the win against Corbin. And Corbin's really impressed me with his in-ring work recently. I feel like he's gotten a lot better.
It seems like they're setting up that Corbin's gonna lose when it really matters.
Probably. That's what they like to do to Corbin. And then, of course, afterwards, Sami Zayn approached Aldis backstage and complained like he has been,
I can't stand Sammy. Oh God.
saying that he deserves to be the number one contender, da 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 da, bullshit. But then Kevin comes back there and says, Sammy, if you would have gotten called for a title shot, you would have taken it too. Um, yeah, pretty much. And then, of course, Baron does retain against Trick. Um, Chelsea comes out to celebrate, which is awesome. The Fatal Influence interrupted. Tiffany Stratton comes out. And then they end up making a match to where if Chelsea Green told Fatal Influence, JC Jane, if she wants a championship shot at Tiffany, that they need a shot at the women's championship belts, and if Fatal Influence wins that, then JC Jane gets a shot at Tiffany Stratton. And Fatal Influence ended up beating Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton, and now JC Jane next week has herself a
I don't.
United States Women's Championship match.
I don't get why Tiffany Stratton is even still wrestling.
JC Jane did some funny stuff though. She literally goes, you know how Tiffany goes, "It's Tiffy time," right?
Oh, that
Uh,
Tiffy. My bad. I thought I was thinking about a different Tiff. I
yeah,
thought she was hurt.
no, so she's good. She's fine. But it was funny because she's like Tiff. She's always doing it's Tiffy time. Afterwards, JC Jane, was like, oh, we got a match. Not the match. Got a match next week. She's like, it's JC time. So I think it's going to be a really good match, and hopefully, Fatal Influence is draped in gold, baby. Then we get a backstage segment with Damian Priest, R-Truth, where they get confronted by the War Raiders. And then R-Truth comes out saying that, it doesn't matter if you're Legion of Doom, Hulk, and whoever, we're not scared of you. And announced that next week they're going to have a triple threat tag team match with the WWE Championship, where it's Damian Priest and Truth versus the War Raiders versus the MFTs. Priest was annoyed and walked away. Next, Randy comes out to explain himself, saying that he pretty much is going to make sure Cody, as long as he's around, Cody never has another championship again. Right after that, we had Sami Zayn and CM Punk in another backstage segment. Sammy's complaining about Punk to Johnny Gargano, who's doing that really weird out of it thing. And then Punk comes back there asking her, "We're still doing this shit," pretty much. Um, and then Sammy keeps complaining, and pretty much Punk laughed and walked away. Right, told him to get in the back of the line. Next, Nikki Bella said that them turning on Paige was right. You know what I mean? And they blame Paige for everything that's miserable in their life.
Is that why John Cena divorced her?
Guess so. And then, of course, Shinsei Nakamura is back, and he has somebody who's going to be his tag team partner because he's not alone. I'm wondering if it's going to be Evil. I'm hoping it is. but that's going to be great. And then we get the main event of Charlotte Flair versus Jade Cargill, which Charlotte came out, like with the dye in her hair for Alexa and hitting a lot of Alexa moves. This was a great fucking match. Tatum Paxley, came out because she's officially now on SmackDown. But Charlotte, straight won this match. So I'm kind of
Nice.
excited to see what's going on here. Overall, thought it was a decent episode. I gave it like 3.75 out of 5 stars. I mean, I feel like this week, dude, coming off of SummerSlam was a ton of big reviews. I'm sorry, ton of big debuts. There was a ton of interesting things that happened. Too bad you missed a lot of it.
Hmm. I don't know. I just wasn't interested in watching it lately.
Do you got any big thoughts, takeaways, anything that's going on?
Nope. I'm gonna watch this Monday though.
All right. Hopefully, we have some thoughts next week. Um, but before we get out of here, I do want to cover AEW so people can't say I got a WWE bias because I am not on WWE's payroll unless y'all want to pay me. So of course, this week it was Grand AEW Grand Slam Mexico. This was a super fun show. It was like a pay-per-view show on TV. Um, and the crowd was hot. There was a lot of CMLL talent that came in for this. MJF returned. So it was fun, man. First match, kicked off with the Death Riders of Moxley and Pac, Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia versus Cope, Edge, Christian, and the Young Bucks. This was a super chaotic match. A lot of fun, a lot of crazy back and forth. But the Death Riders ended up stealing the victory by grabbing the tights. So I thought it was a good finish just because Edge, Christian, and the Young Bucks looked really strong throughout the match. And it kind of gives the Death Riders something to actually fight for. And then after that, of course, tensions were continuing to roll between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Um, you know, uh, Omega slapped Ospreay. Ospreay slapped Omega back, but then Ospreay refused to hit the hidden blade. Um, you know, and then Kenny pretty much told him that when he finally pulls the trigger, Kenny's going to see it coming. So Kenny's kind of turning heel here. Next, we get Andrade versus Commander versus Tommaso Ciampa for the AEW National Championship. This was a super fun match. Uh, Andrade actually hit the DM on Commander, picking up the victory. Then Andrade announced that he's going to be he's entering the Casino Gauntlet #1 contenders match, and then MJF's music hits, and we finally get the return of MJF. MJF does the same shit he always does, and came in pretty much destroyed. Used the belt, took him out, and his dynamite ring to beat the fuck out of Andrade. Grabbed the mic and then did a classic MJF, right? Cut amazing promos that he's the real champ. Blamed Ospreay for preventing him from beating Omega. Called Omega a paper champion. He said that the all-in main event between Omega and Ospreay should have been his. And he announced that next week on Dynamite in Vegas that he's entering the match to determine the #2 entrant in the Casino Gauntlet tournament that's coming up. And MJF said he's going to win that shit again because he loves this shit and he's coming back for his Triple B. I love MJF. Absolutely love MJF. He's one of my favorite wrestlers on the mic right now. Next, we had Willow Nightingale and the Brawling Birds versus Mercedes Moné and Dominion. Another super fun match. A lot of near falls. But Willow ended up pinning Mercedes, which is kind of a telltale because they have a big match coming in at All In for the Women's Championship match. So I'm wondering if Mercedes is going to pull that out. Afterwards, we had Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey for the Intercontinental Championship. This again was a pretty decent match. AEW is really strong with their in-ring wrestling and always have been. But Fletcher kind of really showed that his heelness here. Refused for tradition. Overpowering Bailey throughout it. And then Fletcher, just kept kicking out of everything Bailey threw his way. Fletcher ends up picking up the win. And then afterwards, Okada came out, and kind of did a stare down with each other. And Okada pretty much told Fletcher, dude, I'm coming for you. Afterwards, we had Mystico, Chris Jericho, and Darby Allin versus the Callis family. Jericho's really struggling to wrestle. That's my biggest thing here. But of course, Jericho and then pick up the win. After that, we have Persephone versus Chris Statlander for the CMLL Women's World Championship. This was a really good match, but ended in interference because Hikaru Shida interfered. And then they set up Persephone versus Rosa. Hangman Adam Page and Brodito had a great match against the demand of Ricochet and his group. This was a fantastic match, and then actually we got a new trios championship in Hangman Adam Page and Brodito, which was a lot of fun. Their chemistry was unbelievable. And then lastly we had Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis in a Mexico Street fight, where kind of Will Ospreay kind of showed his more vicious side. Overall, I thought it was super good. A great episode. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. There was a lot of great in-ring action. And AEW's doing a great job setting up for All In. I'm actually excited for All In. I might actually buy it this year. So, got any thoughts, takeaways, anything you want to say?
No, I hate AEW. People could 100% call me a biased WWE fan. You damn right I am.
All right, damn right you are. You biased WWE fan, you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's pretty much all I had for this week. You got anything you want to add? Anything you want to throw in? Anything you want to do before we get out of here?
Nope, I didn't watch enough wrestling to really add.
Well, it's all right. Watch it next week so we actually have something to talk about. But with that being said, that's all we have for you this week, Wrestling Fam. And again, it's me, the Reeves Fam TC, Hunter Reeves, back at you this week, along with my co-partner, my brother in destruction, the werewolf of our family, Alex Reeves. And we'll go ahead and let y'all go. And until next time, have fun, support each other, and watch some damn wrestling. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Peace out, baby.